pass there from Megan Sullivan. Heather Steinberg was right in the right place and couldn't get the finish in that top right corner. Again, with the cold conditions, Utah Valley switching it up to come out here to this RSL facility instead of playing at Clyde Field at home. They'll wait for the warmer weather to clear that up later on in the season. Beautiful facilities here. Synthetic turf out there on the field. So we'll see how that plays out. Again, if you're just now joining us, we had technical difficulties earlier on, but welcome to Harriman, Utah, on the campus of the RSL Academy. This is Zions Bank Stadium just outside of Salt Lake City. And Utah Valley, the hosts of the New Mexico State Aggies. Utah Valley in their black and green uniforms. New Mexico State in their white with red trim. Brandon Crowith here alongside our pitch side, booth side director, producer, and statistician, Ben Schroeder. Any other title you feel you want to give to Ben, we can give that to him. Seventh minute so far, no score. Both teams have had their opportunities with corner kicks. And Utah Valley trying to keep that one in play. And does not, so it'll be Aggie throw-in. Good strong throw-in from Gregory. And Gregory's pass was not able to find any one of her teammates. So Brooklyn Nielsen again will give the outlet to Jenna Shepard and company on that back line for the Wolverine defense. Again, if you're just now joining us, Utah Valley comes into this match with a 1-1 record here in conference play after splitting a desert series last week against Grand Canyon. And then on the other side, the Aggies come in to this match 2-0. Their second best start since 2009 when they started WAC play with a 4-0-1 record. And the Aggies looking up to conjure some offensive magic here. Penetration into the box. Referee whistles nothing. And they're going to play they're going to play the ball out of bounds. The coaches wanted to play some sort of advantage with the foul. Coach Bart for New Mexico State got up and out of his chair. A very close play defensively. And this time the foul is going to be called. The whistle is blown against Utah Valley. I believe that's going to go against Bushman for the Wolverines. So a free kick now for New Mexico State. So Shea O'Connor with the free kick here for the Aggies in the 9th minute. O'Connor waits the whistle. O'Connor sends us into the box. Misses her teammates. Utah Valley comes away with it. She's Sadie Brockbank on the near side along with Anna Pickering in full speed. Amber Tripp now has it. Amber Tripp pulls it back. Amber Tripp dances her way around a couple defenders. Somehow the Wolverines still able to keep that ball in play on the far side. Fancy footwork from the Wolverines. Nobody home, however, to continue the offensive drive. Bushman intercepts for the Wolverines. Anna Pickering with the flick, trying to find Sadie Brockbank. And the Wolverines starting now to swarm. A lot of black shirts on the on the Aggie side of the pitch. Now the ball swung to the left side. And Sadie Brockbank can't get to it. familiar face for the Wolverines on the Aggie bench. Last year, their goalkeeper, Ali Hara, was able to help them to a WAC championship match season before their season was cut short. The Wolverines in the championship match against Seattle U. Ali Hara was a fantastic leader and a player coach, essentially, for the Wolverine squad. And over this offseason, she accepted a goalkeeping coach position with New Mexico State. So a familiar face down here on the sideline for the Wolverines is Ali Hara, former teammate of a handful of these Wolverine players, is here now. Different jersey. New Mexico State has been blessed with some fantastic weather this time of year. And Utah Valley, with how crazy the mountain Wasatch weather can be, isn't necessarily able to practice on the grass. And they have an indoor facility. They've been trying to come up here to the other RSL facility right behind us to play indoors. But you can tell soccer was definitely not made to be played on turf. This ball very slick, very fast. See some of the girls getting used to it. A couple of the touches that they would normally have in front of them, they'd have to adjust. As that ball was deflected out of play, last touch by the Aggies. And another throw-in for the Wolverines on the far side. Sadie Brockbank fighting through a triple team of defenders, can't get to it. Last touched by Pacheco for New Mexico State. "13th minute. Again, thank you for joining us here on the WAC Digital Network. Brandon Crow with you here, New Mexico State, Utah Valley. Heather Stainbrook has a chance. This one deflected. Stainbrook again pushes this one wide left. All three chances so far early on have come from Heather Stainbrook. And you give Heather Stainbrook those chances more than once, and she'll make you pay. Take another look. Stainbrook, very composed, puts on the floor. Pacheco there with the stop. And Stainbrook trying to volley with that left foot. Just barely missed that curler in the top corner. And miscommunication for the Wolverines as Sullivan lets that one fall through and eventually gives way to a throw-in for the Aggies. Sullivan kicks it back upfield. Brockbank gathers and boots it where nobody's home. Gottschalk there to scoop it up. Stainbrook is able to get a foot on it for the Wolverines. Touches it back. Beeston. Utah Valley still possessing. Julie Carter. Sadie Brockbank back to Carter. Carter in the box now. Carter with the left foot. This one deflected and scooped up by Gottschalk. It's a good passing there. And good overall teamwork by the Wolverines. Stainbrook again splits the wickets of a defender. Here comes Megan Sullivan in full stride. Brockbank, one-touch pass to Pickering. Pickering back to Sullivan. Sullivan sends this one into the top of the box. On the backside, Amber Tripp with the fake. Ooh, nice defensive play from the Aggies. Amber Tripp somehow gets it back. Aggies breathe a sigh of relief. Megan Sullivan now on the near side. Bushman. Now Jenna Shepard. Wolverines again Edging that byline. This one tipped and again pushed wide by the Wolverines. Some solid movement and great buildup by the Wolverines, causing Gottschalk and this defense to quiver a little bit here. Another great buildup on the backside. Beeston keeping it in play. Brockbank lets it go. Julie Carter with that toe tap. And Pacheco again doing everything she can on that defensive side to keep this thing clean. Here comes the corner for the Wolverines, near post. And this one will go out of play for a goal kick. Pacheco getting pressure. Pickering finds herself with it. Lays it off for Amber Tripp. Amber Tripp back to Brockbank. Pickering gets dispossessed. Bree Eves for the Wolverines. Eves goes to her left. Beeston deflected. Beeston quickly gets it in. Looking for Brockbank on the outskirts. Good solid defending. And Gottschalk comes in to scoop that one up. Utah Valley, New Mexico State, 17th minute as we approach now the 18th minute. Still no score. Both teams have had their fair share of corner kicks. Utah Valley has had about 4 shots on goal compared to the Aggies 1. Utah Valley again in their black and green jerseys. New Mexico State in their white and red. And Utah Valley again starting to penetrate more offensively. Sadie Brockbank now with it. Looking for some help. Beeston tangos with the defender. Nice dummy ball there. Kept in play by the Aggies. Referee plays advantage. New Mexico State. Amber Tripp there to get her toe on it. Now Beeston comes in and kicks it out of play. New Mexico State, again, comes into this game after taking down Chicago State over the weekend. They had 2 games, and in those 2 games, New Mexico State put up 11 goals. And 2 main players for the Aggies really helped contribute in big ways during those games. The 6 goals scored against the Aggies in Monday's matchup against Chicago State was the most goals scored in a game under head coach Rob Bartz. And the 2 players who did the most damage, Shea O'Connor and Zilali Hernandez, they were the first Aggie duo to have back-to-back hat tricks in a single season. O'Connor had a hat trick on Saturday, and then on Monday, due to a postponement, Zilali Hernandez had the 5th hat trick in Aggie history. O'Connor was awarded the WAC Offensive Player of the Week this past week. And she's the first Aggie to win that award. Crazy enough, you think about New Mexico State and all the great soccer players that have come through that program, especially the last several years. But O'Connor was the first Aggie to win that award since Devin Hart in 2017. So we know what the Aggies can do offensively as they're looking to knock on the door here. Brooklyn Nielsen comes up and scoops that one out for the Wolverines. And again, this 2-0 start is their best start to conference play since 2009 when they started WAC play with a 4-0-1 record, the Aggies. And the Aggies now chewing their bit of clock and possession. Utah Valley was able to have it over the last 5-6 minutes or so. Pendulum is starting to swing more in favor of the Aggies. Sullivan to Shepard. You hear Coach LeMay for the Wolverines yelling at his team to get up forward. And again, this is a Utah Valley team, a lot of promise. They were selected in the preseason poll in the conference to come in second, and they had a couple injuries in the offseason to some big factors. Breida Wall, Katie Haskins, Jocelyn Bybee. But Coach LeMay very confident in the team that he has on the bench here with him. A lot of young freshmen. He has a lot of confidence in to try and keep this team poised and afloat while they try and wait for some of those players who were injured to come back. And frankly, who knows if these young freshmen will even let them come back. Coach LeMay has been very pleased with how well these freshmen have been playing. So Utah Valley corner here in the 22nd minute. Megan Sullivan sends this one in. Headed away momentarily by the Aggies. Stainbrook comes away, top of the key, and kicks it out of play. And it looks like the Wolverines will have their first substitution of the match. Some fresh legs up front. And one of those freshmen that we talked about, London Miller, comes into the game for Sadie Brockbank. London Miller scored her first collegiate goal as a Wolverine just a few weeks ago in a scrimmage. And another one that Coach LeMay has a lot of confidence in. Amber Tripp on the far side for the Wolverines. Sees this one kicked out of play. Heather Stainbrook, the intended target, instead kicked away by the Aggies. Sullivan. Back to Bushman. Nice flick. And London Miller sees her first touch. Beautiful touch. Finding Amber Tripp. Heather Stainbrook in the box. Stainbrook going to far corner. Misses, but there for the rebound. Wolverines, Julie Carter with the goal. 1-0. Julie Carter comes in the 23rd minute. A fantastic build-up by the Wolverines. London Miller with a nice touch. Amber Tripp finds Heather Stainbrook. Stainbrook puts a nasty touch on this one. It forces Gottschalk to dive, gets a hand on it, and then Julie Carter there for the putback. So Julie Carter in 3 games, that's her second goal. The Texan smiling big, putting the Wolverines on top 1-0. In 23rd minute, and the Wolverines looking to add some more. And London Miller making an immediate impact. Coach LeMay subbing her on, and within 30 seconds, gets a beautiful first touch on the outside of her right foot. Finds Amber Tripp in mid-stride, who then finds Heather Stainbrook. Stainbrook inside the box, penetrated, and had a nice kick on the bottom left-hand corner that forced Gottschalk to make a diving save. And there for the rebound putback was Julie Carter. Megan Sullivan. Bree Eves, and Bree Eves' pass gets intercepted. Then Eves finds herself with it again. Anna Pickering back to Sullivan. And interesting to note, one of the things that Coach LeMay was really impressed or really optimistic about, last week, even though they lost in that second game against Grand Canyon last week, playing a woman down. He was very optimistic at how, even though they played a woman down in that match, Utah Valley still ended up with close to 70% of the possession. And that's one thing that Coach LeMay has definitely emphasized with this team, is maintaining that possession. You can see the possession definitely in favor of the Wolverines here tonight. And New Mexico State, an errant pass. This one slips through. Grace Olson trying to find Hannah Leitner. So 26 minute. Again, thank you for joining us. We're in Harriman, Utah, just south of Salt Lake City, about 15, 20 minutes, give or take, which road you want to take and how good the traffic is. Southwest of Salt Lake City. Zions Bank Stadium on the RSL Academy, the Rail Salt Lake Academy campus. This is the home of the Rail Monarchs. And we want to thank them for lending us their home, their services for tonight's match. Again, with this crazy COVID season, both programs, along with a lot of the teams across the country, especially in the WAC, trying to do everything that they can to make sure that these athletes have an opportunity to get out here and play these sports that we all love, that they love, and represent their schools. Beeston on the far side for the Wolverines. Nice dummy there from Jenna Shepard. Plays it back to Bushman. And Beeston's pass is intercepted. Nice anticipation there from that Aggie back line. London Miller. Now Bree Eves, who switches it all the way across the pitch to Megan Sullivan. Bushman now switches it back. And this one too far for Beeston as the Wolverines let that one go out of play. Be a throw-in for the Aggies on the far side. And this will bring a new wave of Aggies coming into the pitch. Hannah Draper coming on. Loma McNeese. Gia Valenti. And Megan Ormson are set to check in. And they come on the pitch to replace Bella Garcia, Grace Olson, and Ziladli Hernandez. '28th minute, just shy of a half hour. Utah Valley on top, 1-0, courtesy of Julie Carter's second goal in 3 games for the Wolverines in the 23rd minute. And an errant pass from Gottschalk. Luckily, Pacheco was there to get a foot on it. Utah Valley had numbers. Now Brooklyn Nielsen sends a boot. And a flag is up on the far side. Offsides against the Aggies. Bushman to Eves. Shepard with it. Now Shepard swings it left to Beeston. Beeston stops at midair, pushes it upfield, finds a sprinting London Miller. London Miller just inside the box. Was able to force, I believe, they're going to say it's a goal kick. Looked like London Miller might have been able to get a shot deflected off of a defender. But Gottschalk will go ahead and send this one away from her own house. And it'll be interesting to see how the weather affects these ladies out here. Again, we know that depending on where you are in the country, when you play soccer in the fall, you can have some very chilly conditions. But right now the weather outside about 31 degrees, and it's only going to get colder. This is the first of two matchups between the Aggies and the Wolverines this weekend. Tonight, game one, and then Saturday afternoon, a matinee special for you right here on the WAC Digital Network and on the GoUVU YouTube page as well. 2 o'clock Mountain Time is the kickoff on Saturday, and that's going to be right behind us in the indoor facility. And who knows, maybe if the weather's good enough, we might be out here, but the forecast calls for some snowy conditions, and so we'll see if that puts us back indoors. But either way, we'll have the coverage for you in the match. Right now in this one, Utah Valley on top 1-0, courtesy of a Juliana Carter goal in the 23rd minute, and New Mexico State trying to find some way to get some possession back. So far in this match, it's probably been about 60-40 in favor of the Wolverines. And here's a little combo offensively, snubbed out by Jenna Shepard's diving save. And Jordan Gregory is going to throw it in for the Aggies. And this one kicked back away from danger by Bree Eves of the Wolverines. And they're going to try and find London Miller. This ball about 20 yards too far away from Miller. Gottschalk picks it up. Gottschalk barking orders at her team, getting herself situated. Heather Stainbrook now finds it for the Wolverines. Amber Tripp. Amber Tripp pulls it back to Heather Stainbrook. Now back to Bree Eves. Now finds Megan Sullivan. Sullivan. Going to send this one into the box with the left foot. Amber Tripp trying to get it. Pacheco trying to deny her. And this one kicked out of play. Last touch by Anna Pickering for the Wolverines. And a sub coming in for the Wolverines. Nicole Ray, another freshman. And she will come on for Anna Pickering. So a couple fresh legs up front for the Wolverines. And see what Coach LeMay has up his sleeve within the remaining about 10 to 11 minutes or so. See if they can tack on another goal before the break. Utah Valley trying to take that free kick very quickly, and they do. Megan Sullivan back to Bushman. Bree Eves. And London Miller was the intended target. That one went over her head. And really nothing too threatening so far here from the Aggies in the first 34 minutes. Utah Valley has had a lot of possession. Right within the first 5 minutes, New Mexico State had a couple corner kicks, but nothing came of it. There's a good combination. Leitner now with it for the Aggies. And the speed of Megan Sullivan coming in from behind to dispossess. And speaking with Megan Sullivan before the season started, she said that was one facet of her game that she was trying to improve on, is that conditioning and getting her body in the best shape that it can be. And she said that she found it. London Miller fighting off Pacheco. Stainbrook. Stainbrook now to Tripp. Tripp inside the box. Tripp cuts left, fires a shot, saved by Gottschalk. Great job by Amber Tripp. Penetrating, splitting the defense. Cutting back to left side. Amber Tripp with the head up. Nice pass and receiving from Heather Stainbrook. Nice cut back there. And fires a shot right in between the legs of Pacheco. And then Gottschalk right there to smother it up. And it looks like Coach LeMay has a couple more subs in the wings, along with Coach Bartz. Leitner, 1v1 with Sullivan. Sullivan wins that battle again. And the referee blows the whistle to give way to Amanda Mangelson for the Wolverines, and Cassidy McCormick. Julie Carter, the goal scorer, steps off. Heather Stainbrook steps off as well. Leitner steps off for the Aggies. And Jocelyn Talent Burleson is the fresh legs for the Aggies. And a free kick awarded to the Aggies. Looks like Jordan Gregory will be the one to do it. Aggies trail 1-0 here in the 37th minute. Less than 10 minutes to play here in the first half. See if the Aggies can find an equalizer somehow. Pacheco instead will do it. Sends one into the top of the box. Ball still on the floor. Finally kicked away by Bree Eves. And Beeston now comes away with it for the Wolverines. Beeston up to Miller. Miller, good body control, finds a way to get it to Amber Tripp in the circle. Tripp looking for some help. Going to try and play it up to Amanda Mangelson. Dispossessed by the Aggies. Now Bree Eves finally takes back control for the Wolverines. Puts it back to Bushman. Jenna Shepard lures a couple of defenders her way. Instead goes upfield. Nicole Ray. Shepard now back across to Beeston. Miller jostling for position with the defender. Lays it back off to Nicole Ray. Shepard now with it. Nice dummy there by Amber Tripp. Good idea. Good defense there by the Aggies to stand their ground and push the Wolverines further back into their own territory. And somehow Amanda Mangelson was able to keep that ball in play. I thought that had a little too much sauce with it. But instead now here's Utah Valley. Amber Tripp dispossessed from behind. Nice takeaway by Hannah Draper. Now Grace Beeston with it for the Wolverines on the left side. The whistle is blown as that ball was sent in toward the box. And it looks like a foul is going to be called against Utah Valley. And a goal kick is awarded. 39th minute, 1-0 Wolverines on top of the Aggies. Julie Carter with her second goal in her third game. That's the difference maker as of right now. In the 23rd minute, that's when the goal came through. Ironically enough, the Utah Valley Wolverines have never lost to New Mexico State. So the Aggies looking to try and do something historic tonight. They're already down 1-0 as we approach about 5 minutes till halftime. Nice dummy ball by the Aggies. Megan Sullivan there to get a foot on it. Push it upfield to Amanda Mangelson, as Sullivan is slow to get up behind the scenes. Bree Eves looking upfield, finds Mangelson. Beautiful pass. Can she get there in time? She cannot. Yeah, we talked about how slick and how fast that turf is. And that was one of those cases where the grass might have reached up and slowed that thing down. Mangelson. Mangelson wins another header for the Wolverines. And Eves loses it on the floor. Good ball work by Gia Valenti. Aggies trying to maintain some sort of possession, and offsides is the call on the far side. And 3 more substitutions for the Wolverines, along with another one for the Aggies. Hannah Rivera will come in for the Aggies. And Nicole Alonda, Hannah Harrison, and Lily Haskins, set to come in for the Wolverines. So 42nd minute at Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman, Utah. Brandon Crow with you. Thank you for joining us here on the WAC Digital Network. Some chilly winter soccer for you on a beautiful campus. Part of the RSL Academy, the Real Salt Lake Academy, part of the MLS. This is the Real Monarchs Stadium, Zions Bank Stadium. Southwest of Salt Lake City, about 20 minutes. Gottschalk trying to do her best to continue to keep this just a 1-0 game. Gottschalk, even on the goal by Julie Carter, was able to get her hand on it off the initial shot from Heather Stainbrook. Julie Carter was just there to finish it off. London Miller here for the Wolverines inside the box, trying to find Amanda Mangelson. London Miller goes down. Referee, no whistle, no call. Gottschalk sends a big boot up. Nice header by Amanda Mangelson, Pacheco gets enough foot on it to kick it out of play to be a throw-in by the Wolverines. Wolverines been very aggressive here over the last 3 minutes, trying to see if they can put on another goal before halftime. Megan Sullivan directing traffic. Sullivan, the two-handed toss. Bushman there to corral it back for the Wolverines. Now Sullivan again. Sends it upfield. Amanda Mangelson. Now to London Miller. Miller in the box. Miller splits the defender, gets a shot off and saved by Gottschalk. About 90 seconds or so left here in this first half. Again, the Wolverines, if you're just now joining us, in the black and green, the Aggies of New Mexico State in their white and red. That Utah Valley goal coming in the 23rd minute, courtesy of Julie Carter. Julie Carter put in a rebound off of Heather Stainbrook. Forced Gottschalk to make a diving save outstretched on the floor. And now here come the Wolverines again, looking for some last-second magic here. There's a shot. This one is wide right. Utah Valley continuing to apply as much pressure as they can. Final 30 seconds. She is onside. That's a great ball. New Mexico State with the last-second opportunity here. And Wolverines somehow sniffed that one out. That was a great look by the Wolverines. And with 10 seconds left, they're going to blow the whistle and raise the flag as London Miller was caught offsides. And that is how the first half is going to come to a close with the Wolverines on top 1-0. Julie Carter, again, the goal scorer for the Wolverines, her second goal in 3 games. This is halftime from Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman, Utah. Wolverines on top of the Aggies, 1-0. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this.
We love the new apartment.
The natural light is amazing.
Hardwood floors.
There is a bit of a clogging problem.
At least Geico makes it easy to bundle our renters and car insurance.
Yeah, helping us save even more.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Make some noise! Let's do this. Creative, the world needs an answer. Give us the answer. Creativity is the answer. Never play on repeat. Put your own spin on things. Let a new wave begin.
All right, come on, let's go.
2 seconds. Creators run the show. We want the answer. From the cage to the stage. Rise up from the streets to the pros.
So much.
Creativity is the answer to a world divided. Tear down those walls. Make worlds unite. Flip the script. Rewrite the room. Creativity is the answer. Now over to you.
It's not always easy being the exception. They'll tell you you don't belong, that it's not your place, that it'll never fly. But here, you learn that you have a choice. You can listen to those voices, or you can leave them all speechless. But the key component there is you.
Some people see just another local Utah sports app.
Oh, wait, what? A local Utah sports app? Introducing the new KSL Sports app, powered by KSLSports.com. Utah's only all-in local sports app, connecting you with all the action you love. The latest news, insider analysis, podcasts from the pros, and so much more. Free. Available right now, anywhere you are. Download the free KSL Sports app today from your favorite app store.
Join the Wolverine Club, a simple message with a major impact.
Finds the back of the net for the Wolverines.
Support student athletes like former Utah Valley University women's soccer star, graduate, and Rhodes Scholar finalist Hannah Bruce. Not only is Hannah the first UVU student athlete to be a Rhodes Scholar finalist, she is currently studying to earn a master's degree in neuroscience at the renowned University of Oxford in England. Support the next Wolverine Rhodes Scholar finalist by joining the Wolverine Club today.
At UCCU, we do mortgages fast.
Seriously fast. Just use your phone or computer to fill out UCCU's super easy mortgage application.
You'll receive an instant pre-approval before you start shopping. Your completed mortgage file will be underwritten by UCCU's very own in-house professionals.
Like us.
Seriously fast.
Buying or refinancing a home has never been this easy.
Seriously fast and super easy.
It's what I do.
It's what I do. It's what we do.
Who am I? And furthermore, what do I want? What makes you itch? That's the most important investigation anyone can make. But you don't find this out until you investigate it. So I always ask the question, what would you like to do if money were no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? Because if you say that money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. Forget the money. After all, if you do really like what you're doing, you can eventually become a master of it. And then you'll be able to get a good fee for whatever it is. Therefore, it's so important to consider this question. What do I desire?
To national championships runs through NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
Ready to go? Sounds fun.
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app.
At Intermountain Healthcare, we understand that broken arms haven't stopped. Babies continue to be born, emergencies continue to happen, and doctor visits are still needed. At Intermountain Healthcare, we've put the measures in place to safely care for you in these difficult times. So please, don't put off the care you need, especially for stroke-like symptoms, chest pain, difficulty breathing, or other urgent care. We're here for you. Visit intermountainhealthcare.org/here-for-you to learn how to get the care you need.
At UCCU, we do mortgages fast. Seriously fast.
Just use your phone or computer to fill out UCCU's super easy mortgage application.
And buying or refinancing a home has never been this easy. Seriously fast and super easy.
Welcome back, everybody, to Zions Bank Stadium on the RSL Academy campus. The Zions Bank Stadium is the home of the Rail Monarchs, and right behind us is the indoor practice facility and game site 2 location between the Wolverines and the Aggies on Saturday afternoon. But tonight it is starting to get even more frigid. About 29 degrees is the temperature outside, but right now inside the Wolverine locker room they are a little bit warmer as they have a 1-0 lead over the Aggies of New Mexico State. That one goal coming in the 23rd minute courtesy of Julie Carter. We take a look at the stats, overall stats for you here in that first half. And honestly, so far, Wolverines have just been flat out dominant, for lack of a better phrase. 11 shots to none, 4 shots to none, 4 corners to 2 corner difference. And Gottschalk doing everything she can to try and keep this just a 1-goal game. She had 3 saves. And one of those saves ended up being the goal. Heather Stainbrook had a wide-open shot in between a couple defenders in that 23rd minute, and she forced Gottschalk to make a diving save outstretched on her right-hand side, and then that rebound is what found Julie Carter's feet and eventually the back of the net. Beautiful shot as the mountains in the background. Again, this is just an extraordinary view, beautiful facility here as we take a look at the rest of the conference standings. The WAC women's soccer standings, again, for this postponed spring season. California Baptist, New Mexico State on top with 2 wins apiece. Seattle 1-0-1. Utah Valley 1-1. Grand Canyon 1-1. UTRGV, Dixie State, Chicago State, the bottom 3 down below. Again, we mentioned earlier, if you take a look at New Mexico State, those 2 wins that they had to open up their conference play came against Grand Canyon. And this past weekend, they put up 6 goals in those 2 games. And the 2-0 start for the Aggies is the best start since 2009 when they started WAC play with a 4-0-1 record. But we'll take a quick break. Again, about 3 minutes left until the second half kickoff is underway here at Zions Bank Stadium. Utah Valley with a 1-0 lead on top of the Aggies of New Mexico State. This is WAC Soccer. We'll be right back on the WAC Digital Network after this.
Right next to UVU, Wolverine Crossing is a premier award-winning student property in Orem. With nearly $5 million in renovations, Wolverine Crossing has the look and feel of luxury living, including contemporary upgrades and top-tier amenities. Wolverine Crossing supports a strong academic environment, whether you're on campus or online, and the resident assistant program is nationally recognized, keeping you safe and secure. Lease right now and get $200 off your first month's rent. Wolverine Crossing. This is home.
At Intermountain Healthcare, we understand that broken arms haven't stopped. Babies continue to be born, emergencies continue to happen, and doctor visits are still needed. At Intermountain Healthcare, we've put the measures in place to safely care for you in these difficult times. So please, don't put off the care you need, especially for stroke-like symptoms, chest pain, difficulty breathing, or other urgent care. We're here for you. Visit intermountainhealthcare.org/here-for-you to learn how to get the care you need.
If we can see things for what they are, if we can see what they could be, if the plastic we use, we never throw away, if the end of one thing could be the beginning of the next. If we know that less can create more. If we can return, we reciprocate, we regenerate. If we are here for others, if we can work as a team, all we have to do is connect, and the world opens up. The future is about giving back.
How does Costa Vida create the ultimate sweet pork burrito? We start by following our award-winning recipe, one that calls for everything to be made fresh, from scratch every day. Like our beautifully braised pork, seasoned beans, savory sauces, and delicious cilantro lime rice. Even our tortillas are cooked to order. It's a difference you can taste. Treat yourself to the ultimate sweet pork burrito, only at Costa Vida.
Welcome back to Harriman, Utah. Zions Bank Stadium, to be exact. Brandon Crow with you here on the WAC Digital Network and on the GoUVU YouTube channel. Utah Valley enjoying a 1-0 lead as we start the second half here against the WAC foe New Mexico State Aggies, who have come into town. And I'm sure New Mexico State wished that they might have brought some longer undergarments. Outside temperatures about 29 degrees and dropping. Luckily, the wind is not too crazy, but just as I speak, I look and I see all the girls' hair and jackets flying in the wind. So that's going to be fun for them. Julie Carter is the lone Wolverine to score so far. Tonight, her goal came in the 23rd minute. And fantastic build-up. London Miller, a freshman for Utah Valley, came in and within 30 seconds got a pass about 20 yards shy of the midfield stripe. And she was able to get a nice flick on to Amber Tripp. Amber Tripp penetrated the defense, found Heather Stainbrook inside the top of the box. Heather Stainbrook took 2 steps and fired a low shot to the corner, which forced Gottschalk to make a diving save for the Aggies. But unfortunately, nobody was there to clean up the trash for the Aggies. And Julie Carter came in and was able to put it in the back of the net. And that is where we stand as we officially kick off the second half here against Zions Bank Stadium. Utah Valley on top of the Aggies, 1-0. The Aggies in their white with the red trim, and the Wolverines of Utah Valley in their black and green trim. And right out of the gate, New Mexico State trying to show off their speed and penetrate that back line of Utah Valley's defense. And Brooklyn Nielsen comes up to scoop that one up for the Wolverines. Brooklyn Nielsen, if you've been keeping track or keeping tabs on this Utah Valley team over the last couple of years, Brooklyn Nielsen was with the team when they made that championship run in 2017 and the consequent year after that as well. And then she went on an 18-month LDS mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. She was in Eastern Europe, and honestly, this is her first real full game back in action in about 2 years. So Brooklyn Nielsen between the posts for the Wolverines, so far having a clean sheet. And Utah Valley right now clicking on all cylinders. Don't let the record fool you. They split the series last week against Grand Canyon, 1-1, and Julie Carter, lo and behold, was the goal scorer in the win for the Wolverines on Thursday night. And then Utah Valley fell 1-0. Grace Beeston trying to hit that back corner and doesn't get it to curl as much as she wanted to, as Gottschalk comes away with a save. But Isabel Jones-Dodd, the goalkeeper for the Wolverines, got sent off in the 13th minute after a bizarre sequence. And that forced Kylie Tuimaulunga to come in and play backup, and she did a great job. She was unable to save the PK, which was the difference maker, but other than that, she had about 5 saves later on in the game. And even though Utah Valley was playing a woman down, they still were able to maintain about 70% of the possession in Saturday's match. And again, for the Aggies, with their 2-0 start to conference play, this is the second best conference start that they've had in program history since 2009, when they started with a 4-0-1 record in WAC play. Sadie Brockbank just outside the box, now inside the box, tiptoes her way past a couple defenders and gets the ball right back. Wolverines knocking on the door once again. Brockbank with the left foot. Great defensive stop there by the Aggies. And now Megan Sullivan again showing off that speed. Lays it off to Amber Tripp. Flag stays down. Tripp can't get to it. And we've made mention already, this is a synthetic turf field. And we know how much faster that these turf fields can be as opposed to regular grass. This is also where rugby is played here in Utah. The Utah Warriors. So again, the Wolverines in their black and green jerseys. As Brooklyn Nielsen, the goalkeeper for the Wolverines, calls off her teammates. And New Mexico State Aggies in their home whites. In the red trim, and a foul is called. And this is going to be a free kick for the Aggies. And the anchor on the back line for this New Mexico State defense has been Annalise Pacheco, and she will take that free kick. And some disagreements that you can hear from the fans here in the stadium, disputing the offsides call. Now Sadie Brockbank finds herself with it for the Wolverines. Brockbank has Nikki Ray to her left, Amber Tripp to her right. This one snuffed out by that back line of the Aggie defense. Now falls all the way back to Megan Sullivan. Now Beeston, Brockbank with a one-touch, and deflected off of Pacheco all the way back to Gottschalk. Heather Stainbrook lays it off for Nicole Ray. Last touch off of Ray. And Jenna Shepard coming in and gets taken down very hard, but gets right back up. So again, 11 shots in total for the Wolverines to New Mexico's 0. 4 shots on goal for the Wolverines compared to 0 for the Aggies. Brooklyn Nielsen with a lot of pressure was able to toe tap that one away to Megan Sullivan. And Sullivan's ball just shy of the midfield stripe, goes out of play, be a throw in. So a trio of Wolverines on the attack now. And again, that back line of the Aggies defense deflecting that one away. Bree Eves to Grace Beeston on the far side for the Wolverines. Amber Tripp doing her best to try and get around Gia Valenti. Now Jenna Shepard with it. Has Bree Eves to her left. Pulls it back. Now Grace Beeston. Beeston up to Ray. Ray back to Beeston. Nice move. Beeston composed. Beautiful move around a defender. Still in play in the box. And Pacheco, last minute desperation save by the Aggie defender. Great play from the young freshman Grace Beeston, tiptoeing around her defender and staying in play on that end line. And Stainbrook will let that one go out of play for a Utah Valley corner kick. .53rd minute, wind starting to pick up. Again, temperatures without the wind about 29, 28 degrees. With that wind chill factor, about mid-20s. It's only going to continue to drop. Here's a corner kick. Ball still bouncing around. And Heather Stainbrook plays it back to Sullivan, who with their left boot tries to get it past that back line of the Aggie defense. Instead, the Aggies get a couple heads on it. And eventually kicked out of play by the Wolverines. Dangerous ball all the way back to Brooklyn Nielsen, who was able to get a toe on it somehow. Very dangerous. I'm sure Jenna Shepard wants that sequence back. Bit of a miscommunication between her and Bushman. Now a throw-in coming here from the Aggies in the 54th minute. Ball bouncing all over the box, eventually played all the way back out. And swung in right at Brooklyn Nielsen. It was Emma Smith trying to find one of her teammates, but Brooklyn Nielsen was able to intercept it in midair before any Aggie was able to get there. Dangerous pass. Nielsen again comes up to scoop it away. So Brooklyn Nielsen really seeing the most action that she's had all night over the last 5 minutes. Making sure those legs are warm. Now Amber Tripp has it in mid-stride for the Wolverines on the far side. Amber Tripp goes around a couple defenders. Amber Tripp now inside the box, and Gutschall comes out to save that one on the end line. And a quick outlet by Gutschall. And a takeaway by the Wolverines, Julie Carter. Amber Tripp again now with it. Just outside the box, trying to find Sadie Brockbank inside the box. Brockbank, another shot saved by Gottschalk. So in the blink of an eye, Utah Valley's offense can kick into gear. Gottschalk doing a nice job of staying alert. And this one making its way up toward the broadcast booth. And a bad deflection by the Aggies gives way again for the Wolverines. Nicole Ray with it on the near side. Jenna Shepard. Stainbrook. Now Beeston. Beeston has options. Finds Amber Tripp. Great vision there from Beeston. And Brockbank can't get there in time. And Nikki Ray now with it for the Wolverines with the left foot, trying to find Amber Tripp. Good defending there from Pacheco. Pacheco and Gottschalk really the two MVPs so far in the contest for the Aggies. And Emma Smith, outside of the screen, took a fall when she collided with Beeston on that last offensive possession by the Wolverines, and she's slowly moving around. Not as much as we were able to see her before. Now Utah Valley again with possession. Amber Tripp, beautiful one-touch pass. Heather Stainbrook, now Nikki Ray, nice backwards pass to Bree Eves. Eves looking for some help. Ooh, splits the wickets with the Meg. Another beautiful turn. Eves can't finish. Flashy footwork from the Wolverines. Back-to-back plays from the young one. Bree Eves showing off her skills. Filth of the highest order from Bree Eves. And a corner kick by the Wolverines. Again, Eves with the nutmeg here off of Smith, and another beautiful tiptoe on the other side. And the Pacheco coming in with the strong defensive stop. Sullivan. And they're going to call a whistle against Utah Valley, so it'll be an Aggie free kick. 58th minute, just shy of the hour mark here in Harriman, Utah, Zions Bank Stadium. Weather a little chilly outside as the winds picked up right after the sunset. Outside temperature 30 degrees, with the wind 27. And the wind coming in from the southwest side of the stadium. Or as you can see it, from the left to right. That's the way that the wind is coming. Just the way that the Wolverines are attacking. And miscommunication between the Wolverines sees this one go out of play just next to their own bench. Emma Smith, two-handed toss. Aggies looking for a little hole or a crease in this Utah Valley defense to try and slip through. 30 more minutes of play here in regulation. Utah Valley again on top, 1-0. That goal coming in the 22nd minute, courtesy of Julie Carter. Her second goal in the last 3 games. And a careless giveaway here by the Wolverines. And a shot right at Brooklyn Nielsen from Gia Valenti. That's their first registered shot on goal of the match. Stainbrook couldn't find Amber Tripp. Beautiful move there by Amber Tripp. Now Utah Valley has 5 on the attack. Amber Tripp cuts back to her left. Amber Tripp trying to find Stainbrook. Instead, Ray now has it back to Stainbrook, who pulls it back. Stainbrook's shot pass deflected. Tripp gets called for a foul. Gottschalk sends this one past midfield. Headed back into Aggie territory by the Wolverines. Sadie Brockbank being pressured from behind. Good defense there. And a whistle is going to be called against the Aggies. Lisi Aviles. Beeston and Jenna Shepard. Bushman. Now Sullivan. And you can't really tell from the camera angle, but with that wind again blowing really hard from the left to the right of your screen, any of those balls that we just barely saw go up in the air are just kind of floating for a couple seconds before they come back down. This one kicked out of play by the Aggies. Gives way for a Utah Valley throw-in deep in Aggie territory. And set to check in for the Aggies, Corey Kaiser. The next opportune moment for Coach Bartz and his staff. Brockbank, Amber Tripp. Amber Tripp fires just wide. Gottschalk doing well to keep her body in position enough to have some sort of bubble when she falls down. Amber Tripp sizing up that defense. Just came up inches away from goal number 2 for the Wolverines. Ray Brockbank providing the pressure. Emma Smith now for the Aggies. And Jenna Shepard heads this one out of play for the Wolverines, and a throw-in for the Aggies in front of their own bench, which they take very quickly. Leitner headed away. Draper, now eventually Olsen. Shepard, now Brooklyn comes in. Nielsen with the diving save. And quickly gets the ball back out to Megan Sullivan on the far right-hand side. Now Amber Tripp for the Wolverines. '65th minute in Zions Bank Stadium, where the Wolverines have a 1-0 lead on top of the Mexico State Aggies. Jenna Shepard for the Wolverines now in the circle. Comes to the near side, and Grace Beeston, and you can see another turf ball. The ball just skipping and hopping off that turf. Flew over Grace Beeston's leg. 3 more subs coming in now for the Aggies. Grace Olsen, Shea O'Connor, and Bella Garcia check in for the Aggies. Amber Tripp steps off for a brief moment of rest as Anna Pickering comes back on for the Wolverines. Bella Garcia trying to get there for the Aggies. And Bushman kicks it away. Emma Smith will come and throw it in for New Mexico State. Smith kicks this one off of Beeston. And Brockbank trying to corral it for the Wolverines. Plays it back. And a poor left foot clearance attempt by the Wolverines. Take a look at our next broadcast here for the WAC Digital Network from Utah Valley. Tomorrow night, men's basketball against UTRGV at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then again, Saturday, right behind us in the facility, women's soccer versus New Mexico State here Saturday at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then we'll have another men's basketball game after that. So a doubleheader for you as far as Utah Valley sports go on the WDN on Saturday. So if you're going to be like us, and if you're in cold weather conditions, forecast calls for snow. So why don't you grab some hot chocolate, make yourself some pancakes, and cozy on up and enjoy some Utah Valley soccer and basketball the next couple of days. McKenna Gottschalk blasting that one past the midfield stripe. Last touched off of the Aggies, goes out of play. And a throw-in coming for the Wolverines in the 68th minute. Wolverines looking to go to 2-1 in conference play. That would give the Aggies the exact same record as the Aggies have a 2-0 start, tied for the top of the conference with California Baptist. There's a shot wide by the Wolverines, as Nicole Ray tried to find a long-distance connection with her left foot. And like we mentioned earlier in the first half, again, this is one of the deepest teams probably Coach LeMay has had here at Utah Valley, as we talked about. He's missing 3 key players. One in Jocelyn Bybee, who was out for the season, tore ACL right before the season. And again, we send our thoughts and prayers to her as she recovers from that. But the other 2, and Breda Wall just a couple of years ago was the WAC Player of the Year and helped this Utah Valley team in 2017 to that NCAA appearance and ultimately the WAC championship. And then last year, freshman standout Katie Haskins on that back line was fantastic, and she was coming into this season to have to be preseason all WAC, and both of those two had had ankle or leg injuries that they're trying to recover from. And we'll see how their fitness levels are in the next coming months to see if they're able to play this spring season. But if not, then these other freshmen, like you see on the pitch, and London Miller and Nicole Ray, Grace Beeston, continue to step up. And Coach LeMay has full confidence in his whole team from top to bottom. But it is very difficult to replace a team, two players of the caliber in Brita Wall and Katie Haskins. And then again, that speed and agility on the outside, on the attacking side, from Jocelyn Bybee. And Brooklyn Nielsen scoops that one up. Good composure here from the freshman. Grace Beeston finds Sadie Brockbank. Brockbank now to Heather Stainbrook. Stainbrook has options on the far side. Elects to go to them. Sadie Brockbank inside the box. Can she get there? Not in time as Gottschalk picks it up, and the referee had the flag up on the far side for offsides anyway. Gottschalk's big booming kick finds the head of Nicole Ray for the Wolverines and eventually back into the feet of the Aggies. And the Aggies have one of their best opportunities here on offense so far in the second half. And quickly snubbed out by the Wolverines. Emma Smith on the near side. Bree Eves trying to find Megan Sullivan in full sprint. Sullivan can't get there in time. And the referee's going to blow a whistle to allow substitutions to come in. So London Miller will come in for the Wolverines. And Jocelyn Talon Burleson will come in for the Aggies. Take a look at the upcoming Wolverines schedule. Again, tonight against New Mexico State. Saturday against New Mexico State. Then they will go on the road to South Texas to take on the Vaqueros of UTRGV before coming back to Utah Valley to take on California Baptist for a pair. And then East St. Patrick's Day special against BYU, crosstown rival, in-state rival, before traveling back down to Dixie State. Julie Carter, the goal scorer, inside the box. Plays it back to Heather Stainbrook. Stainbrook fires. This one goes high and outside. Now, each build-up for the Wolverines continues to get these fans up and out of their seats. '73rd minute here. Almost at Clyde Field. It almost feels like Clyde Field. It almost feels like home. Zions Bank Stadium. Julia Carter coming in from behind. A nice takeaway. Good ball movement here now by the Wolverines. Beeston still has it, trying to keep it in play. And the line judge is going to say that one is out of bounds. And before Gottschalk can kick this ball, referee is going to signal for the substitution to come in from the side. This one's going to be for the Wolverines only. Amber Tripp comes in. And she will come in for Bree Eves. little over 15 minutes left here in regulation. The Aggies trying to find an equalizer and trying to find some space to create an equalizer. Jenna Shepard now for the Wolverines. Emma Smith for the Aggies intercepts. Smith sends us one in. Had a lot more poison on it than I think Brooklyn Nielsen anticipated, but Nielsen was there to scoop it up nonetheless. Emma Smith with a nice angle here. This one almost looked like it had spin that was curling back toward that near post. And this one will go out of play. Last touch by the Aggies. Beeston trying to throw the ball in quickly, but not before New Mexico State can get a sub in. Megan Ormson. And Cassidy McCormick will come in for Julie Carter for the Wolverines. And coming off the pitch for the Aggies is Gia Valenti. Beeston with that two-handed toss. Cassidy McCormick with her first touch of the evening tonight for the Wolverines, just outside the box. So far this season, as a team, Utah Valley has scored 6 goals while limiting the opponents to just 3. And UVU has 79 shots, with 42 of those shots before this game on frame. And Utah Valley, again, that stout defense doing its job and showing its teeth here tonight. And that offense chomping at the bit, trying to find one more. McCormick now to Tripp. Tripp still with it for the Wolverines. Nice move by Sullivan. Inside the box, sends in a cross. Gottschalk there to take it out of the air. London Miller was trying to head that one in on the backside. Nicole Ray with the header for the Wolverines. Now Megan Sullivan. '78th minute here at Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman, Utah, just outside of Salt Lake City. Brandon Crow with you here on the WAC Digital Network. Thank you for joining us. Utah Valley with a 1-0 lead. That goal coming in the 22nd minute, courtesy of Juliana Carter's goal. And Juliana Carter, her second goal in 3 games for the Wolverines. It was about this time of the game on Thursday, a week ago, where Utah Valley would finally had the breakthrough against Grand Canyon. And New Mexico State trying to do the same thing here against the Wolverines. Emma Smith finds the header down. Now Amber Tripp for the Wolverines. Sends it off to Cassidy McCormick on the left side. McCormick going towards the corner. Gets around her defender. McCormick with her left foot. Sends it in. And eventually kicked out of play by Pacheco. Beeston quickly gets it in. Amber Tripp has a lot of space in front of her. Cuts back to her left. Tripp, shot deflected for a corner kick for the Wolverines. Last touch by Grace Olson. Olson, who did well just to turn her body and get enough on it. Here's the corner kick for the Wolverines. Headed away by the Aggies. Amber Tripp finds it. Outside the box, Amber Tripp again inside the box. Amber Tripp with the shot deflected and eventually saved. A team save by the Aggies. Ball still all over the pitch. London Miller trying to put it back in, and New Mexico State breathing a huge sigh of relief. That very easily could have been 2-0 in favor of the Wolverines. Gottschalk coming up huge with a couple saves. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Pacheco was there as well to use her body as a defender. Beautiful move there by London Miller, getting around her defender. Referee says no foul. Play on. And the intensity from both teams really starting to heat up here in the final 10 minutes. Let's go back to that shot here by Amber Tripp. Amber Tripp fires. Gottschalk can't keep it. And Pickering heads it. And the ball continues to bounce all over the place. Heather Steinberg trying to fire it back and goes into the mass of people. Now McCormick finds Nicole Ray. Nicole Ray switches up the pitch. One touch there by the Wolverines. And a little sketchy maneuver there. But Brooklyn Nielsen somehow was able to get that one away. Good through ball there. Nicole Ray, can she get there? The ball deflects off of her body. London Miller trying to get there instead. New Mexico State kicks that ball out of play. That was Emma Smith, I beg your pardon. We'll take another look at this. Go slow-mo here. In real time, it looked like that could have been a handball, but I think Pacheco was able to get that clear, but very close. Lily Haskins coming in for the Wolverines for, I believe it's London Miller, or no, I beg your pardon, Nicole Ray. And Maddie Franklin coming in for the Aggies for Jordan Gregory. So 82nd minute, here's the Wolverines corner kick. And offsides is the call against the Wolverines. And that wind continuing to pick up as the temperatures continue to drop. You see this New Mexico State team completely bundled up. I can't even recognize their coaching staff over here. Full head-to-toe ski mask and garb. I'm sure they will be more than happy to go right behind this facility and go indoors on Saturday. Bushman gets it upfield for the Wolverines. Miller somehow is able to get the ball off, draws a foul against the Aggies. Lisi Aviles, the guilty party. Been a pretty clean match. Handful of fouls for either team, but no bookings. Referee has not had to reach into his pockets. 84th minute, about 5 minutes and some change left here in regulation. Stainbrook sends a curler into the box, headed away by the Aggies. Jenna Shepard kicks this one in the air for the Wolverines. New Mexico State still has some time. All they need is one goal to force extras. McCormick on the near side. Finds Miller. Miller can't get around her defender. Instead, here comes Lily Haskins. Haskins going across the pitch. Pickering inside the box now for the Wolverines. Miller. Maybe one touch too many by the Wolverines. Stainbrook. Now McCormick. And they're going to say offsides from the far judge. And McKenna Gottschalk calling off her team. Plays this one very quickly. Sends it up the pitch. 85th minute as Jenna Shepard and Heather Stainbrook take the ball away from the Aggies. Cassie McCormick can't get there. Throw in. London Miller now has it inside the circle. Switches up the field for the Wolverines. Anna Pickering goes around her defender. Pickering with the burst of speed, plays it back, top of the box to Miller. And a handball is called against the Aggies. This one's going to go against Bella Garcia. Jenna Shepard with the free kick, 86th minute. And she's going to play it back. Bushman. And a couple subs coming into the game for the Wolverines. Sadie Brockbank and Amanda Mangelson for Cassidy McCormick and London Miller. Sadie Brockbank goes around a couple defenders. Nice flick. Zilali Hernandez comes back in for the Aggies for Corey Kaiser. 87th minute, Aggies trying to find some last-minute gold to force extras. Foul's going to be called against Utah Valley. I think they're going to call that one against Amber Tripp for bringing her leg a little bit too high and too close to the face. About 2 minutes and some change left here in regulation. Is this the Aggies' last chance here? Sending this one into the box. And that could not have been any easier for Brooklyn Nielsen, who quickly gets the ball back out to Amber Tripp. Amber Tripp. Now Haskins. Lily Haskins dancing around her defender. Goes back to Brockbank. Brockbank goes around her defender. Brockbank. One touch. Now eventually back into Gottschalk. Stainbrook intercepts for the Wolverines. Haskins. Now Mangelson. Beeston. Amber Tripp. Back to Stainbrook. Stainbrook with pressure from behind. Keeps it. Mangelson now with it. Nice touch, nice turn by the Wolverines. Mangelson trying to get a shot off and slips in the process. And when the weather gets cold like this, this turf can be very slippery. Big booming kick by the Aggies. About 90 seconds left in regulation. The Wolverines trying to put this one away. Haskins has numbers. Haskins trying to play a through ball. Anna Pickering on the outside. Anna Pickering with the dagger for the Wolverines. Beautiful build-up. Haskins to Pickering. 2-0. Wolverines. Great touch here and vision by Lily Haskins. Lily, and you can see Anna Pickering in the top of your screen calling for it, and she got the ball right where she wanted it. One touch, side corner pocket, and that is the dagger to the Aggies here tonight. As if the weather wasn't bitter enough. A last-second goal like that to tack on a 2-0 lead as we approach the final 60 seconds. So Utah Valley will improve to 2-1 in the Western Athletic Conference play here in this postponed spring season. And on the other side, the Aggies will fall to 2-1 as well. The Wolverines get a whistle called against them. That'll take their last offensive opportunity away from them. And with about 10 seconds left, the Wolverines hug each other on the sidelines. Very cold, very chilly, but they were able to get 2 goals in the back of the net and come away with the victory. Your final score here from Zions Bank Stadium, the Wolverines victorious on top of the New Mexico State Aggies, 2-0. Goals coming from Anna Pickering and from Julie Carter. They're going to do it again in 2 more days. Utah Valley and New Mexico State, Saturday, 2 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. And again, the kickoff will take place right behind us in the indoor practice facility right here on the RSL Academy grounds. For all of our hardworking staff and crew behind the scenes, for our fantastic cameramen braving the elements out there to give this coverage to you, for Ben Schroeder, I'm Brandon Crow saying so long and good night from Orem, Utah. Wolverines on top, 2-0 over the Aggies.